Mahalo everyone, and welcome back to the Jolly Scarecrows channel, and here I have a doozy of a deck. It's Diamond Dude Turbo. It's back, and better than ever in the year 2021. I hope you really enjoy this, because this is one of my favourite decks. For those of you that don't know, Diamond Dude Turbo essentially is a deck that tries to activate Diamond Dude's effect as many times as possible, and its effect is basically look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a normal spell on your next turn, you can activate it regardless of what its cost is. So you can start to use really kind of spells which have a really high activation cost. You can ignore that, just go straight to the effect. So key example here, the beginning of the end. Usually quite hard to play. You need to have 7 dark monsters in your graveyard. Basically, you get to ignore up until the semicolon. Just draw through. Just draw through. How nice is that? You know. So let's get into the deck. It's quite a fairly complicated one to explain. We've got a lot of cards in there. Really, your aim is to try and get a fusion monster on the field in your first turn, I would say, and preferably using Diamond Dude to do that. So you've got a bunch of kind of draw cards to help you get things like Malicious and Discommander into the grave. It'll always be a really handy thing to get Drill Dark out, which lets you special summon maybe a Malicious, maybe a Diamond Dude. One of the key cards in the deck is the Predator Plant. You pay obviously the 2,000 life points to then grab either a Fusion Destiny or a Red Eyes Fusion from the deck. We're running 2 copies of Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon in order to play the Dark Dragoon, which is obviously a super good card. Or the alternative to that is that you bring out Dominance and you get rid of Destiny Heroes from your deck to the graveyard in order to play it, and then when this card inevitably gets destroyed on your opponent's next turn, you can then kind of bring them back in a way that will help facilitate the next turn when you hopefully have some Diamond Dude spell effects working with you. So some of the other interesting choices, so we're running 1 Dogma and 1 Plasma, and you'll note the whole deck is about 52 cards, and that's kind of aimed because you've got a lot of maybe redundant cards, so obviously the 2 Red Eyes, 2 Dark Magicians, and then Dogma, Plasma, Dreadmaster, as well as some of the oddball spells. So we're trying to pad that out with as many kind of good normal spell draw cards that work really synergetically with the deck. But if you did want to, you could go Fusion Destiny, which lets you fusion some of the Destiny Hero from your deck, get rid of Plasma, get rid of Dogma, bang! You go straight into Destiny and Dragoon, which can target one of your opponent's monsters and destroy it with damage, and it'll come back every turn when it gets destroyed, as long as you've got a Destiny Hero in the grave. So that's super useful. Dreadmaster can sometimes act as this really entertaining beat stick, and it kind of can prevent Destiny Heroes from being destroyed. So it can be really handy if you can bring that back once your dominance is destroyed, and you can lay out a decent defense. You can lay out the Dreadmaster, the Diamond Dude, and the Discommander, so you get a draw 2, and you get protection for your Diamond Dude, so that you know next turn you'll get to use its effects. And obviously the more monsters you lumped into the graveyard, because that's kind of what this deck is designed to do, the more likely you are to hit a normal spell, of which we're running nearly 25. So your odds on going to be activating something you want. One of the cards to really talk about, which is in kind of a new addition to the deck, is Dark Angel. You kind of want to get this to your hand to use it as a kind of disruption tool. One of the easiest ways to do that, because I'm only running 1, I've got 2 in the side deck, is to use the Extra Hero Cross Crusader. So this you can tribute a hero, and you've usually brought one back. Say you link summon this, you bring back the Diamond Dude you used to link summon, you use its effect, and then you tribute it to get the Dark Angel to the hand, and then often that will be the point where you have 3 Destiny Heroes in the graveyard, and then you can discard it to target one and switch summon to your opponent's side of the field. You should be targeting the Dark Angel itself, because it has a second effect, which negates any spell you resolve. So you really want this to be on your opponent's side of the field. Sometimes If you're not paying attention, you could accidentally bring this to your own side of the field, and given the nature of this deck, it's kind of crippling. Don't do that. But give this to your opponent and see how they deal with not being able to play any spells. Some decks just can't handle it. On to the spells themselves. So we're running lots of draw cards, which can activate with varying degrees depending on the situation. Allure and Destiny Draw, you can pretty much activate all the time, which is handy. Same with Pot of Desires. Obviously, we're running a big deck, so you can do that. Even the beginning of the end, you can see the deck is pretty much all dark, so you'll often have 5 in the grave that you can banish and draw 3. Though we don't have any kind of banish recursion, so you don't want to be doing that too often. But often, by the time you're at that stage, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. We then have some harder cards to activate, but this could be where Diamond Dude comes in. Triple Tactics Talent is one of them. Obviously, if the opponent's playing a lot of hand traps, great card. Lightning Storm, again, sometimes if you've gone first, your opponent can just wipe you for the most part out, and they're thinking, well, okay, they should be able to come back from this. You can bait their hand traps with things like Lightning Storm. It's not really a bait because they're quite strong. And then you can get going with your more important cards, the things like the Red Eyes Fusion, which can bring out Dark Dragoon. You know how good that card is. Superb at negating kind of 1 card per turn, giving it attack, destroying your opponent's monsters. It's just a beast of a card, really. Fusion Destiny is also obviously your main way of playing your Destiny Hero Fusions, getting rid of them from the deck. So often you're going to get rid of 3 in order to play Dominance. So to say, Diamond Dude. Maybe a Diamond Dude, Disc Commander, Dreadmaster, or you could throw in a Malicious if it's not there, if you want to keep the plays going. Really, it's up to you. That's what I kind of like about this deck. It's very in the moment. It's not like a surgical deck. It can't be because it's so much RNG going in to whatever you fling out of your deck with Diamond Dude. Right, I guess the last things to say are about the actual pure Diamond Dude turbo cards themselves. Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. So this card essentially just lets you play one of the strongest cards in the game off the bat. Usually you have to draw it in your draw phase. Sometimes that can happen. But if you do get this off with Diamond Dude, you're immediately going to summon number C107, as we can see just over here. You have to touch the material. You're going to get a material as part of the effect, number 107. And yeah, negate all monster effects on the field. Pretty snazzy, 4,500 attack, and you contribute some of your Flots and Destiny heroes to make it attack 3 times. You know, that's a pretty solid effect of nothing off a whim. Don't forget, if you do draw Rank Up Magic the 7th one, to immediately play it as well. Sometimes you can do that, and you have to activate it at the start of your main phase 1. That's one key thing to remember. Final Injection is also here, so this negates your opponent's monster effects during the battle phase, having destroyed all cards they control. We're running that up 1, and often that is a card which you're going to be picking up with Destiny Hero Dark Angel. If Dark Angel is in your graveyard, you can banish it and a Destiny Hero to put a normal spell from anywhere in your deck on top of it. So this is one of my targets for that, maybe this or beginning of the end. And actually, to be honest, you can deck just for a situation. If you really need to destroy spell and traps, you can do Lightning Storm, whatever. It does have the effect of giving your opponent a normal spell too, so you kind of have to be a bit careful. But hopefully, if you've got something like a Dragoon on the field, then you should be able to keep that normal spell at bay. I think that's most of the deck covered. Obviously, we're running things like Reinforced the Army, Monster Reborn, normal spells, which would be great to hit off with Diamond Dude. Over Destiny is here because often we'll be dumping Dreadmaster fairly early on, or at least trying to. So Over Destiny will let you bring out a Diamond Dude straight away, or a Drill Dark to bring out Diamond Dude. Disc Commander, whatever. There'll be ways of using Over Destiny all the time, and you know, who doesn't want a free special summon? I do have a side deck for this actually, unlike most videos. It's not visible up on things, so I'm just going to tell it to you. We've got 3 Nibiru, 3 Galaxy Cyclone, 2 more Fine Moon's Action, 2 more Dark Angel, 3 Imperial Iron Wall, and 1 Harpy Stone Dust. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there should be some gameplay on the channel, of maybe a Destiny Hero battle coming soon, with the other Destiny Hero decks we have coming up here on the Jolly Scarecrow's YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Nibiru's appeared. Nibiru.